about?
We should plan
Let's just
something
do
real
it
quick.
live. But don't say what they actually said in that because I think we're actually live now.
Step into
Okay.
Web Studio, the platform for agencies
Ooh, we have an ad.
and turn website
do have an
layouts
ad.
into an art form.
Gotta pay for the Zoom somehow.
Create the grid you want.
But don't say what they actually said in that because we're live on the interwebs.
Yay.
I feel like I say some version of that every single week.
That's our intro.
Yes. We're live on the
Some shows
interwebs.
have a song, or a jingle, and ours is Stephanie saying, I think we're live.
I think we're live on the internet. I think I blew Ray and John's mind today or this week because we're doing a live on Tuesday about it's just a Q&A. And so I sent them a Zoom invite for it. And they're like, wait, can't we do it on YouTube? I'm like, yeah, it will be on YouTube. It'll be live on YouTube with a short time delay. And they're like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, you don't have to know how to do that. I know how to do that.
We do that every week somehow.
Hello. We got folks on already.
Yay. We love
Yay.
sewing on a Friday.
I know. That's the place to be, man. I'm
It is
looking forward
hard
to
for me to
this.
stay awake for Friday, but then when I'm doing it, I feel good every time. I swear, this is what people talk about with the gym. I don't get that with the gym. I just want to leave the gym. But, the whole once you're there, it'll feel better thing. I feel that about this
Yes. Although
every week.
I will start off by saying that we need to cut it off at 11 because I have to be at Ballet Quad Cities at 8:30 in the morning to do costume fittings for the Soldier Army because that's my volunteer thing.
Oh my gosh. How many
So,
costumes?
I don't know. I think it's no more than 8, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
I wait, do you have to do them from scratch? Or
No,
are we talking costumes that get
we're
fitted?
talking like fixing hems so that it hits on the same spot for all the kids.
Okay.
And then like sewing back on hand snaps because they get busted every single year.
Every single year.
You
Yeah.
know, that kind of thing. So hopefully it's not so bad. But
You're not talking full
hopefully,
alteration costume production.
no. The reason why I get this lovely form of purgatory is because my daughter is in the Nutcracker. She's going to be a gingerbread this year. She was a soldier last year. And we have to do volunteer shifts, except you're not allowed to have your children with you when you are doing your volunteer shift, which is problematic with Lily because I don't have family in town to drop her off with while I do my mandatory volunteer shifts, like especially in like Cedar Rapids. So this is how I ended up with this. And I was like, before I say yes, tell me what we're talking about here. And they're like, oh, you no problem. You can do it. Everyone assumes what I'm capable of, which is probably a lot, but more than I think. But
You're capable of plenty. However, you never want somebody to be, you know, too confident in your abilities and then like not get you a helper or something for a project that's actually very large.
yeah.
You don't want them to believe in you that much.
Well, and like just because I can sew it from scratch, alterations is a totally different animal, as Stephanie
Yeah.
Brennan, who is on the chat, would agree.
Steph's here.
She's
2.0.
2.0 on.
Hooray.
I'm gonna say your name wrong every single time. Melina is cutting strips for a Lone Star. So
Oh,
that sounds
that's
like fun.
fun. Just like our sweaters that match.
I know.
Oh, I guess they're sweatshirts. I was corrected
Sweatshirts.
earlier.
It is, I only say that because I would not, it's like the most expensive sweatshirt I will ever own in my life. But
That's
it's worth
fine.
it. It's worth it.
Probably me too. It's quilty without having to have quilted it. I
It's
mean, you
perfect.
can't you can't ask for more than that.
No, definitely not.
So what are you working on tonight? I know what you're working on. I could tell immediately.
I am working on Tula Nova because my extra fabrics came and I was working on trimming some up and I finished trimming my birds.
Oh, cute.
And I thought I'd gotten everything I needed to do the rest of the fabrics and from Spirit Animal. And then
Right, because that's been a long time.
I was cutting these and I was too short. So I had
Oh,
to pay up close to $10 for one more fat quarter of this.
that's
And I'm
not a
just
bad
like,
price
it's
as
not for a
for
tool
that, but
that's like
still,
way out of
like,
print. But yeah, it's a lot. But apparently Tula unveiled her 50th fabric collection at Market today.
oh, and it's great. Did you see the owls?
I have
Did you
not
get to
looked
see
at it.
any of it?
I just
Oh,
saw her unveiling it and that they made a big to-do about it.
oh yeah, they made a big to do about it. It was like the biggest to do.
Yeah,
But the she has new true color stuff coming out,
not
which is
surprised.
really cool. She has a new collection coming out that's a lot of animals, of course, and the owls are gorgeous.
I
And
need that.
then what made me actually audibly squeal is that she's bringing back the free fall backings in different colorways.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to get that for your gigantic quilt,
I know. I
and then
have some
you need to
free fall. I have
find,
some of the original. I
and then
hoarded.
you need to find that wallpaper you had that looked like Tula free
Oh,
fall.
I have some still in my
And
closet. I've been hoarding to put on my ceiling in here, but ah, I don't want to have to put the wallpaper up on my own. That's going to be a Stephanie comes over and helps me project,
Stephanie
right?
has never done that. I'm just
It's
telling you.
peel and stick, which is actually worse for putting on ceilings, if you want my opinion.
I would believe it.
Because you don't have any squish room. You know what I mean? Peel and stick
Yeah.
wallpaper seems like a really good idea until you realize that you have none of that, like the beauty of when you have a glue and you can kind of like shimmy,
I've
your
never done
wallpaper over.
wallpaper ever. That
What?
is one DIY I've never ever done.
Oh, well, I'll teach you all about it on my ceiling.
Thanks so
If
much.
I could afford all that wallpaper again, that was expensive.
I bet it
That was
was.
not cheap. That was not, off-brand stuff. So for you guys that don't know, I wallpapered my ceiling in my last sewing room that was going to be our forever home. And then they kind of ruined my husband's job. They gave us a lot of promises. And then when we bought the house, they didn't follow through because they thought, hey, they're never going to move, right? Like they just bought the dream house. And John's like, we're not doing this. So we ended up moving about, I don't know, 60 miles north. And we love it here. But I had just had my ceiling in my sewing room wallpapered with these beautiful, like swirly clouds and these sparrows that look like the Tula Free Fall. It's from Higgy and West. And it was just the most beautiful wallpaper. It's now lining my drawers, actually. That's what I did with my scraps, is I lined the drawers of my cabinets.
That is perfect.
Yeah. So it got good use.
It was gorgeous. I
It
can
was
attest to that.
really, really cool. But the family that moved in there had they had a brother that they take care of, that had special needs, and that was going to be his room. And he is apparently enamored with the wallpaper on the ceiling. So
Good.
all good happened with the wallpaper. I can't feel sad in the end because somebody is very happy with the wallpaper on the ceiling, or
That's
so
good.
I was told. So, it wasn't instantly torn down.
I painted all day today. So
You
I
did paint all day today.
was very much looking forward to this because both my kids were home from school too while this was happening. And so there was a conversation with the 10-year-old about when the babysitter came, do you think she really wanted to have a full tour of your entire book collection? Or do you think she was excited about it because she knew she needed to be excited about it for you? She's like, probably she didn't want the full tour. I'm like, okay, so now this is what we need to do for Lily. We need to be excited and do whatever Lily wants to do today so that mom can finish this, so that we can no longer have a storage unit and you can continue to do all your expensive activities. And so she thankfully
She had to
understood.
play babysitter.
Yes. So I was like, this is what I'm not paying you. Your reward is getting to continue to do all the things that you like to do that are expensive.
And sadly, your paint did not make the entirety of the room because the walls ate more paint than you were expecting.
Oh my gosh. I had a full gallon and I only needed to do 2 walls. So I thought for sure I'm going to make it. But I was not correct on that at all.
You should have been able to
I should have, but I was.
if maybe you primed, but you didn't prime.
This is where we're at the moment. I got 1 wall totally done, except for I need to do the trim around the window. And then I made it a little bit of the way. And then the big wall at the back, that's going to be a line I blew.
Because it's for the
That's going to
hubby.
be man cave. So the big news in the subbing house is that we have a shed now.
It is a big news. That's
It
like
is an
half your house.
It's an early Christmas present. It is about the same size as the kid's bedroom, so it holds like everything and then some. And so a lot of the stuff that would have gone back in the garage is now no longer has to. So
Was
it's
this a
not going to be
pre-made?
I mean, it required
Like a
assembly.
prefab thing, or did it get
Yeah.
put together, or
It required assembly, but it was like all the walls
some
and stuff
assembly
were all ready
required?
to go. But
Where did you guys get it from?
Menards. There's a
Oh.
sale right now because they want to get rid of their stock before winter.
We should do
Hi,
that. I need to
Cindy,
shed too.
Candace, and yes, Jan, we are twins. Chantel,
We're
the son is
twinning.
1, 2.
We're very proud of our
We
sweatshirts.
are. They're lovely. I need to wear mine more now that it's.
Everybody needs one of these. They feel really great.
They do. They're quite lovely. And I have washed mine.
Did it shrink at all?
It did not.
I bought mine a little
did you
Not
large.
that I
get them?
noticed. But
Where did you get your shirts? Your
they're
sweater.
from Bowden. Boden.
Boden.
It came all the way from England.
Oh wow.
So did mine.
Yes. Thank you. Cynthia says we're looking good.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
What Cynthia doesn't know is that right before we started filming, I'm like, oh my God, I'm still wearing my bra. I gotta get that off. Ugh.
I was not allowed to record that part. Which
Well,
I
the
thought was
part where
really
I
funny.
actually took it off. I mean, come on.
I mean, not that anybody
It
could-
is 9:30 at night in my own home.
No.
No.
reason for that.
None. No room for that in my life. I love you all, but I won't do that. Basic meatloaf right there.
I definitely need to go get my glasses fixed. This is not very fun without them.
Remember that time you went blind on our cruise? You should probably talk about the cruise that you have coming up.
It should. So we're going on another cruise. I'm gonna bring this sweatshirt because it's going to Alaska. Although we got it from Bowden, by the way, Jan. Boden.
Gotta get one. They're on sale
they're
right
amazing.
now.
Are
I
they?
think they're down to like 60.
That is still a lot for a sweatshirt, but it is
I
a good
agree,
sweatshirt.
but
Bowden is really high quality, which is why I don't mind spending on something like that. 'cause I'll
really
wear it
lovely.
forever. But my glasses need to get fixed. I scratched them on our cruise, and I can see better without them than with them at the moment. But so on the last cruise, Chantel's like, hey, you should get these little sticker things that go on the back of your ear. and then you won't get seasick because it was a transatlantic. So we were like in the middle of the ocean for days on end. So we figured there might be some big waves. And there were some decent sized waves and I was totally fine. The things did their job. But one of the side effects of it is that it can cause blurred vision. I didn't read the side effects. So we're about halfway through the cruise. I've had this thing on continuously for like a week now, and I cannot see. Like I had to have the Chantel thread my needle.
She's like, I have glaucoma or whatever.
I was
I'm
so
like,
concerned, like what I was gonna be doing with myself. Because both of my mom ended up with needing to have surgery on her eyes because her vision deteriorated really quickly in one eye, or she had a cataract or something. And then I had a grandpa who just completely lost all his vision in one eye. So I'm like, oh crap, this is me. Like I
on
thought
our cruise.
I would have like some more time before anything like this happened. And then sure enough, Chantel's like, doctor's wife. Well, the only real new thing you have are those patches. What's the side effects? And sure enough, one of the side effects is blurred vision. So
I was doing all your needles for you.
yeah,
You're
she
like,
was threading
do
my
I got
needles.
this?
It was not going very well.
This is foreshadowing to our future right here. We're
I
gonna get
know.
old and it's gonna be like,
Can you see that? I can't see that. But we had a blast. As
oh, we
soon as I
did.
took that patch off, I was fine. And
Yeah, like
it
12
did
hours
work.
later, you were fine.
It did work really well for seasickness. Like I didn't feel a thing when the boat was rocking, but I don't think it's supposed to be worn as consecutively as I had it. I think you're supposed to just like wear it when you have a problem and then take it off when you're done.
Well, that was a very long cruise. That
It
was
was a
not
very long cruise.
normal. The because I had just gone on my first cruise to Antarctica, and it was because my husband is a physician and he was on a conference, very important, not very important conference. He basically made it important enough for it to be covered by the company. And so we got to go to Antarctica, which was a dream come true, but we found out pretty quickly that every single one of the doctors knew about these patches and every single one of them had them except for basically John and me, which I don't get boat sick. I actually enjoy the motion. It reminds me of the subways that I used to ride in Chicago.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody had these little patches. It was like I had no idea you could do that. So when Stephanie mentioned that she might get seasick, I was like, oh, there's these patches.
Yes.
Like I knew everything, but really I was just fortunate enough to have seen them on my
And they
last
do
trip.
work. They do work.
They
But
work great. But
if
they
you
might
start
blur your vision.
if you start to not be able to see things and thread your needle, just take it off. You'll be
Just
fine
take it
the
off.
next day. Oh goodness. I'm like
It was-
trying to thread needles like at the sewing machine, and I'm just like,
She could not see a thing. She's
I
doing
was
this thing.
I did this when I was sewing, and I would like take my glasses on and off, thinking maybe that would help, and
Yeah.
it was nothing. But speaking of cruises, so we're going to Alaska in July of 25.
You're going to Alaska.
I'm going to Alaska. I'm still trying to talk Chantel into coming to Alaska. And
I wanna go to
Chantel
Alaska.
might end up being, +1 if my husband doesn't get his act together, which sounds like he might not.
I don't mind acting as husband.
Yes.
It's like that meme that you sent me a while ago
Yes.
about like going to the beach with your husband versus going with your friend who also has
Yeah.
2 or 3 kids.
Like I would rather
which
go
is
to
going
the
to be
beach.
more organized.
I would rather
The
go to
one
the
with the
beach
friend.
2 women and 5 children than 2 children and 1 husband. And that's pretty accurate. But yeah, Chicago does have it's called the L, which is elevated in some places, but it is underground in others.
Yeah, it goes down underground for a while, and I got used to having to stand on that.
Yeah.
Like surfing.
But so even though July seems like a long way away,
Not.
Alaska books up kind of fast because it's like a bucket list cruise that people typically book out like a year in advance. So we are doing a live with Ray and John on Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central. And sorry, I could not get you an earlier time because it is getting to crazy package season. And so I had to make sure that I would be able to pick up my kids from dance just in case my husband is not off work yet. But 7 Central live Q&A with Ray and John. It's not going to be like this one where you guys can come on. It's just going to be me, Ray, and John chatting about what we're going to be doing. But please come back for that. Anybody who comes to the live is going to get that $100 off their booking. And I do think that there is a deadline on that by the end of the month, but it's definitely worth doing. So come to the live, get your questions answered. It'll be live here on YouTube. And it actually is already up on the channel, so you guys can set a notification for that. But also you can subscribe to emails or actually, no, I don't think anyone can subscribe to emails right now because I have not set that up with the new email provider. So scratch that. I'll work on that this week. Details. But I'm really excited about it because we leave from Vancouver. We're going to be along the inside passage, which means we will not be in open seas. So it should not be it's crazy months. And yes, it's $100 discount per person when you book by the end of the month. So it's book and pay a deposit, I believe, is what secures that discount for you. But we're leaving out of Vancouver, and then we have several stops along the Alaskan coastline, including, of course, Juneau, where we will have a shop hop. And we're trying to also schedule a private textile tour of the State Museum there, because why not? That sounds like a blast to me. And apparently there's like a really well-known fiber art quilter whose exhibit we're just gonna miss, but one of her works will be up while we're there. And so I'm hoping that there's going to be some more textiles that we'll get a behind the scenes look at. That'll be a lot of fun. And we also are doing a shop hop in Vancouver. And one of the shops that I'm trying to get us into is, it sounds like Joann's, where you can get like a little bit of everything. Like it's a big store, but it has all really high quality materials. Like it's like everything you would find in a quilt shop is on the shelves here. And then they also have all the yarn and all the art supply stuff. So it's like, to me, it sounds like it's like Blix, but with like a local yarn shop and a local
Like a
quilt shop
fabric
inside of
component.
it. Yes. So it sounds really cool to go there. So that'll be really fun. Can you put your sewing up to the screen? I want to know how to put my pieces together. This is my sewing at the moment. And I have one more to add to it. I'm doing my Tula Nova at the moment.
And your fussy cutting looks so good.
It was so fun. It was, I mean, like, look
See,
at
I
that.
don't have fun when I'm fussying so much.
I do. I enjoy that part.
I've been working hard at it for my project too, but oh, this one turned out.
Oh, that's so gorgeous. It looks like roses, but it's fire hydrants.
It's fire hydrants.
It does. It looks like roses.
Is that your dog?
It is my dog. He has the longest legs. Look at these legs.
Oh, Remy.
He's on his back
That's
right now.
funny. Yeah, fussy.
He's been here the whole time.
That's funny. Sometimes the back is just as entertaining as the front.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I love the way you did that. She said it to me and I was like, I
We
thought it
couldn't
was
decide
totally
which one
different
was
thing.
better, but I gotta admit this one turned out really cool. I am gonna have like pink and dots next to it. I tried to pull up my iPad, by the way, guys. That's what I was doing when she was talking. And for whatever reason, even when I have it on silent, it's still making noise, like quietly. So I can't read your comments tonight, but it's gonna have these next
I
to
got
it.
it. Jan says very pretty, Chantel.
It's working out really well, but this is the project that never ends. Back to your
Am I
cruise,
stitching
though.
machine from the top? No, I would need to sign in another device in order to do that. And I'm
You have a
totally
dog on your
on my
lap,
couch right
DOL.
now. I do. Well, he's not. He's next to me.
Yeah, we call that DOL in our house, dog on lap.
Yeah, I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
He looks
Right
dead.
there. He's not dead, I
If
promise.
you don't understand what position he's in, he's like laying on his
He's
back,
like
belly
doing
up.
this. He's very comfortable right now.
That's so cute.
He's on the comfy couch. He's next to his mama, who abandoned him all day to paint the garage.
So he peed everywhere then.
You know, I haven't found any.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean there isn't any, but I
You'll find
didn't
it
smell
tomorrow.
any. So I think we're okay.
I hope so.
They were outside a good chunk of the day.
Ah, I do that too.
Hi, Fuzzball. Give you the pit. You are the pit.
I hope I get to go on that Alaskan cruise. I was trying to talk John into it, but because it got moved to July, he doesn't get to choose his he chooses his vacation for January through June
Yeah.
and then finds out if he gets it. And then in like May, he finds out about July through December.
Oh, so that is cutting it way too close.
Yeah. So, you know, living on a prayer here.
I know.
Although I think that's like so the timing of it though is honestly perfect. It's the most
It's
perfect
supposed
time
to
of
be
year
like
to be
the
there.
best time of year to go to Alaska.
And the way that it's set up, you would like if you're a person that works a normal job where you're going to get a Monday through a Friday off basically to take
You
off
can
for
go.
this. You leave on a Saturday, you get on the boat on a Sunday, you get off the boat on a Sunday and fly home that day.
Yeah. It is
So
not
you don't
bad
have
at
to
all.
take extra days. So the thing with the transatlantic is that it kind of
It was
bled
2
into 2.5 weeks
Yeah.
by the time you talked about travel. And so this is like
And it
you
was
can
so far
fit
away.
it all in. And it was so far away, but it was
I mean, flying to
amazing.
Vancouver, it can't be that different than flying to California.
No, it'd be like flying past Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah, I've flown to Seattle before. That was not bad at all. So that would not be a big deal. And people, you know, flying to Canada is far less intimidating than flying to England.
Luckily, we didn't fly to England. We just tried to fly home, and that was a.
So the boat starts and ends in Vancouver. So you're going to be able to fly into Vancouver and fly out of Vancouver. So you'll get a nice round trip ticket discount. That is going to be nice. And we get to see the Hubbard Glacier. And we have like 2 days that are like totally on the boat. And so those will obviously be sewing days. But there's a lot of like mornings where like we're traveling to where we're going to get to. And so we'll have a couple of mornings where there's like sewing time, and then we'll do some sewing time in the evenings too. I'm going to make it a little bit more structured, I think, in terms of when I will be in there, just because I am going to have my 2 girls with me, and they love to create too. Do we need ID for other countries? I believe you do need
You
a
have to have a
passport
passport.
to go to Canada, but you're far enough out to where it's not a big deal to get it at this point.
Even Stephanie waited until the last minute
I,
on the last trip.
I think Ray and John were about to crap their pants when they found out I had
Oh my
not gone
gosh.
and got my passport.
That was funny though.
I was like 3 months out, and then I paid for like the 6-week transport thing. I did not do that this time. We applied for a while ago with the kids' passports, but it hasn't gotten here yet.
It was funny.
But my kids will be with me. They will be 5 and 11 by the time we go.
Oh my gosh, they really will, won't
They
they?
really will. My older daughter is a quilter. She like already designs quilts. She designed one last weekend. I was pretty proud of her.
She's so creative.
She got like totally inspired. We went to our local quilt show and there were only 4 junior entries. So, you know, she's a competitive kid. She thinks she can win. And so she designed it. We picked all the fabric out for it. We just need to start making it. So it's like this piece pumpkin, a big piece pumpkin. So it'll be fun when it all comes together. And so she definitely could hold her own. And like, I'm not good. She doesn't have the attention span to be in class. But so she'll be at the retreat at sea, which is a kind of like daycare.
Not the retreat, but
camp.
it's like day camp.
Yeah, it's like a day camp for kids, and it's broken up into different age groups. So the kids are going to go there during the day while we're all in class, and then they'll join us for dinner, and any other downtime we'll be having a blast doing stuff too, all of us. But which is why I'm going to be like a little bit more structured with like when I'm going to be in the sewing space. But like my younger daughter too, she like will sit and do like loom knitting for like a long time. It's a surprisingly long amount of time. So I think we definitely are going to do that. So that should be fun. But
They'll be around, but not
they'll be around.
necessarily the center of the attention. They have people watching them.
Yes, definitely. I don't have to watch them and try and teach because that would be a nightmare. A total.
I can't imagine.
There's no way. I would
Can
not.
you? Oh my
I'd
God.
be like Ray and John. You want to be Uncle John? Uncle
John and Uncle Ray are gonna take care of you guys.
I don't think so.
Be like,
I think they are childless for a reason. Although they might like my kids in small doses.
Everybody likes some kids in small doses.
I know, right? But today, oh my God, I don't even know what they did, but somehow they knocked off. There's like a bunch of wood slats that keeps their bunk bed, the top bunk on, and they're connected by some kind of strapping. And somehow they got them off track so that the mattress was like halfway hanging down. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
The
like
top bunk
there's
was
no way
falling off.
the top bunk is halfway falling down into the bottom bunk. and I'm just like, what on earth is going on? And I'm like, I'm just trying to paint.
I'm just trying to live my life.
Each other. RGA Travels is organizing the cruise. They're the ones who did the cruise that Chantel and I went on for the transatlantic.
Fantastic.
And we had such a good time. They asked if I would come back, and so I said of course. And so my husband is supposed to be my adult coming with me, but I discovered that my husband has not actually tried to get the time off. So
he's very anti-boat.
He's kind of in the doghouse a little bit, but
yeah,
a lot of it. But anyway,
their vacation,
the way they figure out their vacation is weird at work. So there's still a chance he might be able to come. But I won't know for sure for about a month. And then either my parents will come or Chantel will be Auntie Chantel and be my plus one. So
it'd be great if your parents
get to go away from your vacation or your kids to watch my kids.
Yeah, but you know, cruise to Alaska.
Free cruise to Alaska in exchange for helping make sure my kids don't murder each other.
I mean, easier done when you're aunt, you know.
Yes, also true.
They want to murder themselves when you're in the presence, but when I am, you
It's
know.
mostly just when they're buckled up in the back seat of my car.
Well, like Lily thinks we're married. She thinks everybody's married to
I don't know
her.
what she thinks. She's very concerned about who she's going to marry. And she's 4. And
Very
it's
important to
pretty
this.
funny. It's like, Lily,
You got
you
some
don't
time,
have to
girl.
worry about that for
Well,
a
all
time.
the princess movies are very concerned about who's going to marry whom.
I
and,
suppose that's true.
you know, when that's what you have to go off of.
I think they got every single doll out today too. So I'm gonna have to brush everybody's hair later.
Oh, hey, we made it how far before we said doll?
Uh
It's 10:04.
34 minutes.
We're getting worse.
Reminder that I'm totally cutting you all off at 11 tonight.
I actually have to go down to Springfield tomorrow, and we're doing Halloween trunk or treat or whatever down there. So
That'll
I
be
have to
fun.
travel tomorrow too. I have to leave the house. Ugh.
We need to get you out more often, Chantel. It'll be
It's
good.
not very fun.
You know, it is once you get there. Remy's putting
When you get to go by yourself,
Remy now
maybe.
has both of his paws just up.
I
you
want to
comfy?
live Remy's life.
I know, right? No bills. Just snuggle
Just-
with mom on the couch. Paws
Just
up. Just
Pause
paws
up. I want to live a life like Remy.
Remy has a good life.
He has a great life.
I mean, Remy did have a hard time until he found his life, but still.
Yeah. Well, okay, fair.
He has separation anxiety for a reason.
Oh, yeah, but you made it better. Well, you didn't make the separation anxiety better. You just made his life better.
It's true. Not that he was bad before he came to me. He lived with my grandma. He was my grandma's dog, for those of you who have not heard the story. And when she was getting toward the end, I made sure she knew that Remy had a home with me for life. But before she went to him, he would spend his first year as a puppy with another family and then got kicked out when a baby was on the way because they thought he was too much. And so that was he had 2 homes before he was 5 years old, but now he's here for the rest of his life. And he makes me feel close to my grandma every single day.
I'm not crying.
I have
You're
my
crying.
grandma's knitting needles and some patterns of hers that someday I need to knit up.
That's a really good idea. You
So I
need to
feel
knit something for Remy.
I could.
Remy needs
is
a
very
bow
stuffy
tie.
right now. I've knit dog sweaters before, like custom fit.
I got kicked out of knitting. Even Hazel told that story at Barnes and Noble. My mom's a really bad knitter. She's a great quilter, but she got kicked out. We went to this camp and she was supposed to help with knitting, and they gave her to a different department. And so she told them.
Is that the dog near you right now? Yes, this fluffy paw belongs to my Remy. He is my shadow. He was my grandma's shadow, and now he's my shadow.
He is a good dog.
He's
cute too.
Too far away from me. He is pretty cute. If he ever rolls off his back, I'll show you the rest of him.
He's living his
He
best
looks too
life.
comfortable to disturb right now.
Indeed. I think I overcut some pieces for this, and I can't seem to figure out if I did or not. And so I've counted them like 6 or 7 times now, and I'm still not.
So what is your project called again?
Hide and Seek.
Okay.
It's actually based on one of those Millefori, I think is how you pronounce it, maybe Millefori quilts.
Yeah. It's either Millefori or Millefiori.
Yeah, something like that. And it's based off of one of those that they renamed. Um, and so all, it's like 10-star based. So there's 2 sets of diamonds that are, well, clearly diamonds, 4-sided. But when they all come together, they're either 5s or 10s. And then there's a kite shape that's large that comes together as a 10-point. So it's a lot of these, like these 5-point stars and these 10-point that all managed. I don't know. The geometry is still like not quite. It's complicated, but it all works every single time. Like, I don't know how, but I did find a really cool trick though that I need to share. So Scotch makes this washi tape that's glittery, and it doesn't shed the glitter. But somebody figured out that if you use it on your templates don't move. But they still move fine, like on a regular surface. But for whatever reason, on fabric, they have just enough grip.
Ah, you have it too.
I did this whole one with it, but the regular washi tape works too because mine's not glittery.
The glitter has like it has a texture to it that's a little more. I don't know. It reminds me of a nail file, but not like the really hard nail file, like the mild nail file.
Well, the other thing about it, too, is it takes away your seam. And so it allows you to see what your actual piece will look like after you've stitched it together.
But the glitter is pretty.
I need to get those templates before they go out on sale.
I have some glitter. I'm going to put it on the other side because this is the regular washi tape. So I'll put the glitter on this side and compare the two.
Yeah,
it sounds
glitter
like
works,
the glitter
works really well. I wanted to believe that it wouldn't work because I like to be skeptical if I can. Like, that's too easy. Why would something, cheap and efficient work like that? No, it works. I don't usually like my templates. I don't even buy the templates for most of my English paper piecing projects.
I love templates.
But they never stay still, and so I don't like cutting with them. And most of the products that they make to keep them from moving are, when they're specific to quilting, they're more expensive.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because they have less of a market, and so they can't make as many of the product, and like it all balances out. But because this is basically washi tape with glitter on it, it's really not that expensive.
It's a mass market thing.
Yeah, I just bought my washi tape off Amazon.
I don't know if it came in teal. If it came in teal, I probably would have bought it for you.
I would be all about that.
I know you would.
My husband was like, just don't turn the camera around because my washing is behind here drying. And I was like, they would know that I am always on brand with my colors if I did that because it is all like.
You are on brand all the time. Your garden boots today.
They were pretty sweet, weren't they?
They are on brand.
I got those at Farm and Fleet.
Do you guys have Farm and Fleet? Farm and Fleet's kind of like a Illinois thing, isn't it? Some places have Fleet and Farm. Some places have Farm and Home. But Farm and Fleet's kind of like
or Farm and Fleet. Some places it's Fleet Farm.
Right.
Yeah, it's complicated. But yeah,
I've never heard of that.
These are my boots. Oop, they don't want to go where they want to go. But lovely garden boots. I love them. But I wore them today because I was just like, I just need clothing that I can wear out the door. Because
sometimes that's the goal.
I got to get moving. It was there and matched and it would work with my athletic leggings. And I was like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Are you legging it too? Because I'm legging it.
Not anymore.
I do have some very fun socks on today that are crafty worthy. Let's see if I can. I found them in my kids' socks drawer, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure if my kids were wearing these at school, they would get in trouble.
What do they say?
You crafty bitch.
That's perfect.
they have a woman, at her sewing machine or whatever, and so they're funny, but they were in my kid's sock drawer, and I'm like, great. That's
Yeah, they would get
exactly
in
what my
trouble for
kids need to wear
sure
to school.
at my school. Uh, apparently Remy's Stephanie Brennan says Remy's a national treasure. Yes, Remy came to work often. He was kind of
Oh,
my therapy dog there at the end when things were going south.
he's your therapy dog regardless.
I know
He's a good boy.
he would, as long as
I
you
mean, in the same way that Cubby's a good boy, right? Like Cubby's really like if he weren't my favorite, if I didn't have a tendency to just adore him, he really probably is a pain in the butt for my husband. And there's probably a good reason why he is not my husband's favorite. But I just can't see that because he's my favorite and I love him.
it's okay.
He's my poodle boy.
We so my creative outlet at the moment is gonna be this garage.
That'll be really fun though. I
I'm
love a
turning it
project like
into a
that.
man cave for my husband. So this is where all of his manly things get to go that I've deemed don't fit with my aesthetic. Right? Oh, it's like downstairs, it's like a rainbow color bomb of fabric and kid stuff, and upstairs it's all like teal and gray. And
At
so
least you kept your
all
color
his,
bomb downstairs.
his sports, Alana, everything is going to be out there now. So he's getting excited, I think.
Well, that's good though. He's seen the potential. Oh, I don't want to do this project anymore. I need to find a new project for the rest of the evening.
Oh, Donna's back.
Yay!
I found socks. I didn't get them, but I'm going to at Joann's, where it's like frosting the snowman and it's like a cupcake.
Oh, yeah, you need those.
I love a good crazy sock
Me too.
because I don't really like wearing socks. So if I'm gonna
Me
wear
either.
them, they gotta be like
It's got to be cold and they better be worth it.
Yes, I either need to have knitted them myself or they need to be hilarious.
The
Hi,
idea
Donna.
of knitting a sock just sounds awful. Once you knit one, you have to knit the other one.
Now I do two at a time.
How
Hi,
do you
Donna.
do two at a time?
It's a thing called a magic loop method, and you can't, and so you just end up doing the same step twice over both socks. It's magic.
It is magic. It's the kind of magic that might get me kept into the knitting class this year, but I'm actually very happy to go to somebody else's class.
They're fun.
Teaching that summer camp was so fun, like helping with it and doing the other fiber art stuff. And then they got to the knitting part and, it's not for me. That's okay though.
All right, are the sizes of both normal sizing or too small or big for each size? I felt like this one was a little oversized for me.
This one, it's wider and shorter. So I think it's meant to feel oversized.
Yeah.
Like I would probably normally get a small and I got a medium, but it feels comfortable. Like it doesn't look, I don't think it's meant to be fitted.
Hey, Remy, everyone wants to see you.
Oh, no, we can see him good now. Oh, there he is.
Oh, do you want to say hi, Mr. Remy? You gotta.
Where's your eyeballs? There they are.
He needs a haircut.
We understand.
You're extra fluffy right now.
Oh, he's so cute.
Donna, you're muted.
She's like, yes.
She's probably trying to figure that out.
She's like, 1 second. We can speak this now. I gotta find a different project. I just don't want to.
What are you working on today, Gwendolyn?
I'm staying muted for a bit. I'm at a retreat. Ooh, fun.
Well, I am still, cutting coffins
Forever.
forever.
Oh.
But I didn't work on it all week. So I'm at the same point last week as I am today. But I can show you what I finished this week. I worked on a project that I made.
Oh, that's cute. Pillow. Is that double-sided? I like it.
And then on the sides, on the insides, I made ties.
Mm-hmm.
to hold in the pillow
Oh, that's cute.
on both sides because, special needs children, they are very specific. And Theron likes to specifically take his pillow out of the pillowcase. So now it is tied in on both sides, and it's his Halloween pillow. And these are flange here, and this is glow in the dark.
Oh,
that's
super
fun.
fun.
Yeah, so it's glow in the dark flannel, so it's super soft. I got a nice squishy soft pillow for him to put in it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I get to give it to him tomorrow. And I hope he loves it, which I know he will. But yeah, so that is what I worked on this week. That was my finished project.
Angela can say hi if she wants.
So I was letting y'all know that I'm at retreat and there's still a few people up, so I was keeping it muted so it wouldn't be loud for y'all.
Oh, how has retreat been?
Huh?
How has retreat been?
It's good.
Have you
Great. There's 10 of us here.
have you gotten a lot finished?
Huh?
Have you gotten a lot finished? A lot of
I'm wondering if you got a lot done while you're there.
Yeah, if you look at my screen now, you can see.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
I've been
working
busy.
on,
Very
Oh,
pretty.
those are
the
beautiful.
Circle of Friends. The little dog is the designer mystery by Fat Quarter Shop, and then this is the block of the month. And I'm working on
I love that little dog.
a sunflower checkered Dresden. So I'm sewing all my tops right now.
Can I see the little dog? I had to walk away, but I just came back.
See him?
Oh, I love a little dog.
He's cute.
Oh, and thanks to you, I had to buy, there was that big sale for AccuQuilt, and I had to get the log cabin.
Yeah. You're welcome. Did you go to Ladyfingers? Did
I'm
you go
back.
to ladyfingersewing.com? Because they have probably cheaper than AccuQuilt, even with the
AccuQuilt
sale.
had their big, like 40% off of everything sale. So it was one of those ones where it was like, I can't turn that down. And I got the star one finally. I wanted the stars. I just want to make some blocks that are like 5 or 6 inches and then applique different colored stars of like that's my kind of
Like it
scrap
was a
quilt
board
right there.
on it.
What's
Was it a
that?
board that had like, did it have like 3 stars
Yes.
on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about then.
Yeah, because I have so many fabrics that are like really good pop fabrics, and I thought that would be really fun if I just did a background square and then appliqued a cool like star in a fabric that I love on it. So I think I'm going to do that as some of my scrap killer. I finally came up with a scrap method and making everything into a star.
There you go.
A
Whatever
5-point
works.
star.
You need
Where
to,
is
you
it?
need to
Where
join-
did I find
You
it?
need to join one of my guilds
All
then, and so you can enter the show. It's Star.
I'm gonna mute
Stars
for a
on the
little bit
Journey is
because
the
I
name
have
of
to
the-
go do mom stuff for a second.
That's fine. I understand. I can hear my kids upstairs, but I'm avoiding them. So I went out of the room to check to see if they were alive up there, and they are indeed alive when they should be asleep, like alive but asleep, not alive but like feral upstairs.
Hey, that describes my house tonight too.
Alive but feral describes my house like 95% of the time.
Yes.
I like to say that it's just right now, but I would be lying.
I'm blaming it on the kids' trunk or treat experience tonight.
Oh my gosh. So you want to hear our family tradition on Halloween is candy dinner.
Oh gosh.
That
That sounds oh boy.
yeah. The thing is though that the week after Halloween we try our
You
absolute
talking about the jelly
hardest
rolls?
to eat
I do.
all of the candy. We eat all of the candy as
because you're
soon as
not
we
gonna use
can
them.
and get it over. It's like ripping a Band-Aid off.
Oh gosh.
Right? Like, because if you just let them eat like 5 pieces a night for like 45 nights, you have 45 nights of them being feral, or you can have 10 nights of them being ultra feral.
So it's the same amount of feral, it's just how much do you want to spread it out?
Right, right. I want to rip mine off. So we've chosen the ultra feral, and they know that. They know that they get candy. So this is the new AccuQuilt die that I got with the
Oh, dang.
stars. And I thought, how cute would that be in all my Tula and Ruby Star and things like that on like white backgrounds doing the different size stars. I think
Yes.
it'll be really cute. Plus I need to figure out my embroidery stuff. And I thought maybe this would be a good, it comes with an embroidery, like, I don't know what you call it, the embroidery file to do it. Either that or I'll honestly just go ahead and do I want to say buttonhole stitch, but you know what I mean, the little blanket stitch.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
that's my new plan for.
The embroidery file has the blanket stitch, the satin stitch, and is it an outline stitch, I think? And it's
I think
free.
they just like
That
a
comes with
satin. What is it? A satin and a button and a.
satin and blanket stitch, and then I think it also has maybe it has a zigzag. I can't remember. There's 3
I
stitches
can't
that
remember
come with
either. But anyways, I've decided that that's my plan because I can't think of anything cuter than little stars. And then I don't have to cut them out and turn them into other things. That's the hardest thing about quilting. You cut squares and then you make them into triangles and then eventually you make them into some shape. I just need them to be in a shape so I can get them out of here.
So I don't mind the
Well,
cutting, but
if you're gonna,
it's the trimming.
Yeah, the trimming. Oh,
It's the
and
worst.
if you're gonna fuse them, are you gonna
Mhm.
fuse them or just cut them? If you
I'll
fuse
fuse them.
you cut 4 at a time, not 6. When you put that fusible, that counts as a half a layer. So then
Oh yeah,
you do
because I can fuse them before I cut them.
yes, that's what you want to
Yes.
do, definitely. And then
Actually, I
put the-
might not even fuse them really because they're gonna get quilted to death anyways because it's me and I quilt my own stuff and I quilt it all until it can't be quilted any longer. So I can't say I've ever loosely quilt anything ever.
Well, I'm just saying if you are going to fuse them, do that first
Yeah,
before you.
no, that's a good point. I'm going to have me and the Steam Seam 2 are going to have to become best friends here.
Oh
But
goodness.
instead of doing the 6 layers, you can only do 4.
That's a good point. Okay, well, good to know. Thank you, Donna.
Have we talked about AccuQuilt the entire time I've been gone?
Well, okay, so I showed him my new die that I got. That's these stars, and I'm going to applique them onto little blocks, and they're
That'll be
gonna
fun.
be yeah, because I have so many like statement fabrics. I don't have any solids that are relevant. So, and she was just telling me that you do the fusible and then you cut them and how many layers you can do with that. So
That'd be fun.
I tell you, having a crowd of people that
You
know
wouldn't
what's
get
going
to
on.
window them that way, but that would be okay.
I'm not too worried about it. I guess I can use. Is there a really good fusible that is great for like leaving in?
I always use
Seam light.
yeah.
Seem the same light.
Heat and
I
bond
like
light.
Seam
It's basically the
light.
same thing.
Heat and bond light, yeah. I like Steam Seam too because I'm able to like basically stick it like a sticker and then decide if I like where it is. But it's not the
Yeah,
cheapest stuff.
that's right. Yeah.
And if you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, not having the cheapest stuff can get a little.
You can get
And
heat and bond on a roll.
that's what I probably need.
I think you probably have to order it.
Oh, I gotta show you guys the thing I used for my batting. So I sent
Oh
Stephanie a
yeah, this
picture
was
of this.
genius.
So I couldn't figure out how I wanted to hold my batting, but I figured it out. As you can see, it is happily on a roll on a stand. It is a coat rack that I just did not put the hooks on the top.
And so now she
So my
can just
roll
like
of batting
unroll
is
it.
not on the ground, it's not on the floor, it's on a stand and it has a post going through it. But it's just a coat rack. It cost me $17 on Amazon.
That's clever.
That is quite clever.
Very
Very
excited about my my little find. Because if you get like one of those batting stands or whatever, they're a fortune. And they're like, use the bottom of a chair that you're not using that used to roll around. And I'm like, I'm not getting my jigsaw out today. So yeah, I'm really happy with that solution. And it doesn't want to fall over and it's not on my ground. I mean, I am in a basement ultimately. It's not a wet basement, but there's still bugs and things like that. I don't want it on the ground. And you know how batting is. It wants to collect everything. And I
Yeah,
don't have
mine
enough
gets
room under
covered in
my
dog.
long arm for all my batting because that's where I keep all my junk. So I can't just, get rid of all my junk. My storage space.
I still need to clean all my stuff. I've just a
Amen.
tiny bit of stuff left to finish this week for the book, and then that's done. Speaking of junk and
Oh,
things,
that's so good.
yes.
I'm really happy to hear that.
I have to
For you.
quilt 2 of the wall hangings, but they take about 6 hours each. I'm not too
I was
concerned
gonna
about
say,
it.
should have just brought one over. I would have had something on the frame and done in no time because it was somebody else's project and it wasn't something I had to decide to do.
There you go.
You know how it is. Like
I
when
do know how it is.
it's when you like it's easy to go to somebody else's house and know where everything needs to go furniture wise for me. Like I know how to design everybody's house. Oh, this needs to go there and this has to go there and it just makes sense. It's easy to do everybody else's projects and then you come to your own house and you're like, yeah, I just live in this squalor. It's fine.
You're godly.
I know it's not squalor, but
I want you to come to my house, Chantel, and do mine.
I would. Oh man, I live for well, my background's interior design and I struggle to not move people's furniture as soon as I walk into their house,
Oh,
which is
you're
also an
probably at my
ADHD
house.
trait, you know.
We have
So
to
can
keep
I
it
send you
interesting.
pictures?
I
So
just
could
don't
I-
understand. Sorry, what, Donna?
Can I send you pictures and then you
Oh
can tell
yeah.
me what I need to do?
Yeah, done. I live for that. I don't get to do it as a job anymore. I mostly feed snacks, which I'm not very good at to my children. So, um, they're like, Mom, you're not a very great cook. You could probably be if you wanted to be.
You have more invitations to other people's houses and chat.
Absolutely. Done.
You're gonna be popular.
Free services all around. You also have to take a bundle of fat quarters and, tell my husband I didn't spend money on fabric and it's a deal.
There you go. Sounds
Yeah,
like a
that's a plan. Every time I travel somewhere, I end up buying more fabric and not getting rid of any. So,
you just gotta get some stuff done when you go there.
hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I have a lot of what if projects. I mean, I think everybody has projects in the back of their mind that they're like, I'm going to get to that, but it's not actually on the docket.
Did you feel better this week about getting stuff done? Did you do something else?
No, but
Like
I have been paying attention. So Stephanie came over and we listed a doll and a doll accessory or whatever on eBay. And just to get a feel for like what the process is, because there were so many steps that was very overwhelming. And so we did that. And then after our little therapy session last week, I really ate that project alive. I think I just needed to get it out that it was like, this is an overwhelming sewing project, my hide and seek block of the month. What they expect you to do in a month is not reasonable. But I've gotten a lot done. I feel good about it.
that's good.
I mean, so this is
So
one of the
basically, you're
blocks.
avoiding putting more stuff on eBay.
Yeah, maybe that's probably what it is, but I'm getting something done. Oh God, maybe you should have been a therapist.
Maybe. I don't know. That's a lot of
I
people's.
don't know. I don't want to pay for this service. You just called me out.
It's all good.
I'm not paying for this session.
Oh, good thing it's free anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
That's good.
goodness.
It's all good.
Chantal and
Sometimes,
I, like third hour of talking today, I feel like
yeah, we needed it though.
we did.
If you don't have friends, you better have a good therapist. That's all I gotta say. You
Oh
gotta
boy.
have somebody to chat with.
Oh goodness.
Oh man. That's good stuff though. You were running your kids all over the place and
Oh my gosh. Tomorrow's worse.
oh, I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how I do it either.
You are a taxi service.
I am. I am Uber.
Luckily, my kids are mostly kind of hobbits like me. They don't want to have activities. They don't want to have too many activities, I should say.
We have
But dance
three-
is one of those activities when you love it, it just takes time.
Yeah, it does.
It just takes a lot of
Especially
time.
Then you add in Nutcracker season, and there's 3 birthday parties this weekend between the 2 kids,
Oh yeah.
and I'm still trying to paint the damn garage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you have to order that paint now
It's-
though.
Well, I have the paint for the back wall.
Oh, the Illini blue. You better
Yes.
prime before you do that. Get a tinted primer.
Well, I have a whole gallon. So I think I'll be okay there. Chantel's like, Stephanie,
You know better.
I know I know better, but I don't want to.
But I don't wanna.
I don't want to do better. No, I better
Maybe
do.
you should be paying for my sessions.
I know, right? Letitia says, "Isn't it nice to have friends that tell you the truth?" I mean, yeah, we definitely do that to each other.
And you can still laugh at the end. You're not like, and done. Hang up.
I'm trying to be cheap, Chantel. I don't want to go buy primer.
I don't blame you. I don't want you to have to buy primer either. It's just, oh, that dark blue is going to take 3 coats.
But I have a whole gallon, and it's one tiny wall.
I mean, it would take 3 coats with primer.
Damn it, Chantel. Why do you have to make sense?
I know. I'm sorry.
She knows what she's talking about.
I
know
do.
she knows what she's talking about.
I mean, you can try it, but there's just a large chance that it won't work out, or there's a chance that you're playing like paint chicken. It's kind of like binding chicken,
This
you know? It might be worth trying because primer is going to cost money too, but you bought nicer paint, if I remember
I
right.
did buy nicer paint for that one.
So
I have, I think, Benjamin Moore for that one.
oh, yeah. You know, I still get a discount with Sherwin-Williams.
Do you know?
Yes, I do.
Well, we did get a discount on this one. My husband's best friend from high school works at a paint store
Oh, well,
in Champaign. And so we're like, Mike, hook us up with Illini blue.
and they're going to know it.
Yeah, they did.
They're going to know that Illini blue right away.
So
I mean, go for it. If you get a little bit of the ways through and you're seeing that the coverage is just not going to do it, you can stop at that point. You probably won't, but you could. And then
No, I won't.
I won't.
Oh,
But you
good.
could.
I could. What was I even gonna say? I don't know. My brain is gone tonight.
I think all of our brains are gone today. It's pre-holiday. Can you believe it?
I know. I'm hosting Thanksgiving again.
Me too. I cook once a year, maybe twice.
I love it. I totally love it. Like get
I
up at
do it.
5 in the morning and man, that'll be
I
fun.
do it for the smells mostly. Not the burning smells. I do those too, but I try not to do those on Thanksgiving.
But yeah,
Very good at those ones.
it's fun times. But
You and my friend Kaylee, she lives for it. She makes everything from scratch that day, and
I start
it is,
Wednesday. I don't work Wednesday. I cook Wednesday and prep everything that I can
oh
prep.
yeah, that's like her thing too. It's a whole, I mean, I'm more concerned about getting my Christmas tree up the day after day after Halloween. So,
I already have out my first Christmas decoration.
Do you?
I do too.
Yeah, see,
Aww.
That is cute.
it's
Little
stained
kitty.
glass. So plain back, but little ho ho cat. And it looks just like my cat Cinnamon.
That's cute. I actually texted Stephanie today and I called her and I was going to ask her, but we missed each other if it was okay for me to put my Christmas bedding on yet because I was going to be changing the bedding anyways, and it's like a week until it's maybe appropriate according to Jack Skellington. So, in my opinion, I mean, it's practically Christmas right now.
It's all good.
I usually wait until the day after Veterans Day, which if you don't know, that's November 11th. So November 12th is officially Trees Go Up Day. It's an annual event. Trees, like 5 trees.
A lot of trees.
My mom has
JD's tree didn't even go down this year. He just wanted his up.
a couple, we call them a couple forests in the house.
There you go.
My parents have a big house because the previous owners had an in-law suite set up
Nice.
for it. Yeah, so like you can completely separate the downstairs into its own living area for somebody. And so she would have like there's a collection of trees upstairs, there's the main Christmas tree upstairs, and then there's like 2 sets of trees downstairs too. And it's like, all right, the forests are going up.
The forest.
That's funny.
That's what I have. I have like a candy cane forest in one area, and I just live for that. I don't decorate much for other holidays, but
I made a Judy Niemeyer quilted Christmas tree once.
whoa.
It was intense. It took me 40 hours just to piece it.
Oh.
But it was
Where
good.
is it?
My mom has it.
Wait, was it a quilt or was it like
It was a quilted
3D?
tree skirt.
Our
And
stuff's intense.
it is very intense. And it was the year I was in charge of the Festival of Trees tree for the Quilt Guild. And my mom bought the tree. So she's got the quilted Christmas tree where it's just there's like 300 quilted ornaments on it.
Oh my
Oh my goodness.
gosh.
A lot. She was trying to give it to me one year and I was like, Mom, I don't have any room for this.
You're like, I have a friend who does.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday. But right now you got to keep the tree.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know why all my kids are still up, but John's not doing a very good job of putting them to bed.
Yeah, mine were all up too. And I was like, I had to be out of the house at 8:15 with these kids tomorrow morning. And like, oh my
What
gosh.
time is it? Why are they still like, oh my gosh,
is
it is
10:45
10:45 basically.
Yes. I think mine are in bed now. But one kid just got home from a birthday party and my husband didn't bother to try to put the other one to bed until the other one was home.
Yeah, it's not going well up there. I don't know if I want to go up there and see or if I just want to avoid and pretend I
Well,
don't hear anything.
We're only going to be on for like 15 minutes or so.
I don't know.
So
My
just give them a little bit and then maybe pretend that it's still going and stay down here an hour.
Don't give away the secrets.
My husband was like, "What time do you go on?" I was like, 9:30. He's like, 9:30. I'm like, "I've only been doing this for 6 months." He's like, "You can go down there
Literally.
earlier." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
We've literally done this every week for half a year now, somehow.
I know, but I do like head down here usually like right after dinner because I've had enough by that point. I'm like, it's me time. Me time.
The official time versus the time is different.
Yeah, I've usually been sewing for at least an hour by the time we get on here.
Oh, see, I'm usually like trying to run down here at like 9:20. I'm like, leave me alone.
Remy, come here. You gotta say hi to everybody.
Oh, Remy.
I love you. I love you.
I'm not gonna lie,
Hey,
I think I need
Remy.
to, I'm gonna pause video and mute, and I'm gonna run upstairs and see if I could be like, I'm still on. And then I'm not lying
Ooh,
later.
There you go.
MA Couture Crafting is at Houston Market. Anyone want to find something specific? How did you see Tula's stuff today? We were talking about that earlier. It's been, I think, 2 years since I've been at Market, but I think I have to go next year because my book will be coming out like right before Market. So I think I'll be back then. I mean, why are you licking my quilt? Does it taste yummy? Everyone else, don't all talk at once.
Taking my
Chantal,
kids trunk or treating wore me out.
oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, had a busy week with stuff like that too.
My oldest, Joanna Grace, loves like it sounds like as much as Chantel loves Christmas, Joanna Grace is like that with Halloween.
Yeah.
Like she likes Halloween. She gets more excited about Halloween than her birthday, than Christmas.
It is a fun time,
Yeah.
especially when free candy happens.
Yeah.
I've been
And it's
pretty
kind of funny
excited
because
about
my
Halloween this
husband,
year.
huh?
I've been pretty excited about Halloween this year. Just,
Been
because of
making
all the
so many
Halloween
things for
quilting
it.
I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when I worked at Quilt Addicts, I learned that like pretty feminine Halloween fabric exists. And I was like, oh, well, this looks kind of fun. Maybe I can get into this.
Yeah.
I didn't know the pretty feminine modern Halloween fabric existed.
It does. Very fun.
We know now, Steph. We know.
Yes.
All right, so we've got Barbara Ann who just joined. So Barbara, normally we go to midnight central, but tomorrow I've got an insane day. So we're gonna be wrapping up at 11 central tonight. So in just about 13 minutes or so. And MA Couture meets with Free Spirit tomorrow. So
Huh?
that'll be fun.
I think it was like 2.
That'll be good. Do you have a store?
I was trying to finish. So I cut both of those blocks out, the dog and the other block of the month, and then I stitched up the one block of the month. And I wanted to get it done before I went to bed. So then I just had the dog today to do.
So Donna, do you think you're going to be able to have a finish tonight or this
Which
week?
one?
Any?
Which one?
At
Right, 'cause I
at the
have-
retreat, are you going to be able to do a finish?
No, well, I could if I go back to the Friendship Star one. I have 4 more to make.
Oh, that's
I'm
not too
talking on
bad.
a lot. Well, it's not too bad, but it takes a long time. It's like to get, I'll need to cut some more. I think I have some cut, but I'd have to cut some more of the half square triangles. So there's uh, eight little stars in the circle, which is 4 strips of, like 4 different ones. So there's 4 different fabrics and they duplicate. So you have 2 stars of each one. But then it's when you lay it out, it's really kind of time consuming. I got mixed up the other night and I didn't realize, I don't know how I did the first 2 and didn't have them all messed up. But anyway, some of the stars, they rotate like counterclockwise and some are so pretty. I like the green.
Yeah, the green looks nice.
Oh, Barbara's asking to show it, so that's why I held it up.
Um,
I was trying not
Ooh.
to take away your fire there.
So did you take your AccuQuilt with you?
That was going to be my question.
Yes, I did. And I brought it. And then when I got here, I only had to bring in my guys because she has to go big sitting here at the cutting table. So I just used electric.
So does everybody
brought-
like want to use your AccuQuilt?
Puppy. Sorry.
Well, sometimes it's just, they want to talk about it, like how do you use it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, a lot of people, several people here have them and use them too.
I have a puppy that decided to come down with me when I came down.
Thank you.
Puppy.
She's very sweet.
Abby.
Very sweet.
This is Cubby Wubble Wubby Wumpson.
Oh my gosh, what a name.
Well, his name's really just
I'm
Cubby,
doing it.
but I call him Cubby Wubble Wubby Wumpson. He's a troublemaker and he eats food off the counter and would take the entire turkey if he could.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's not Dad's favorite, but he's fine.
He's like the Bumpus's dogs in A Christmas Story. They come
Yeah,
in
no,
and
totally. Completely. Which, by the way, I have that leg lamp. It sits out all year upstairs.
Yes, she does.
Oh,
It's I also have a cardboard cutout of the leg lamp for downstairs.
oh gosh.
So, so clearly I appreciate the dog.
Fragile.
Yeah, fragile. It came in a box that said that too. I'm not even kidding. Like it was the most expensive lamp I've ever ordered in my life. It came, I was just as excited as the dad. And like it's just this fragile, like all down the side of the box. I nearly kept the box. Like it's great.
Yeah, you have to keep the box for that.
I ended up not getting to keep the box in the long term.
Oh.
I know, because you just can't, you can't keep it all.
I feel like the box could have been just like a bonus, decor.
I know, like I could have sat the lamp on it in the window.
Yeah.
I know.
Can you use it to store it in the during when it's not out?
No, it's always
It's never
out.
not out.
It's never not out. It is always out. And it is prominent.
Yes,
I have
it
this
is.
like
It is in her main room.
it is in my like library. There's a grand piano in there and all my antique books and all my pretty rainbow books and my leg lamp.
I
And
need
my
a video
maps.
tour of this.
Oh, it's great. And people are
It
like,
works
wow, that's a
out.
really great Christmas decoration, when they come over at Christmas, because I don't have people over otherwise, because,
The
why?
children.
And yeah, because I have kids. And I'm like, oh no, Matt sits there all year long. That's where that goes.
Oh.
I feel
Yeah.
like though, like if you know Chantel and you go to her house, like every little bit of it like makes sense.
Yeah, it really
Oh.
does. That's what I aim for. I even have a jackalope taxidermied on the wall, which is clearly not real because jackalopes are not real. But do you know how many people don't know that jackalopes are not real? A lot. Because they ask us if we actually hunted for that creature that happens to be taxidermied above our pantry.
Wait, jackalopes aren't real?
Jack. You would be surprised the amount of people that have no idea that a jackalope is a mythical creature.
That's weird.
Yeah,
went-
but we also have a jackalope that hangs in our house. Like people have deer hung up in their home. Because
She
we had a
also-
hole in our wall at one point, and I was like, John, how are you going to fix that? And he's like, I'm going to hang a jackalope on it. I'm like, Sure you
Okay,
are.
I had to
So
look
I
up
went
what
on
a jackalope
Etsy
was.
and got a jackalope. I found a jackalope and I made sure he had one. And that's how we covered the hole in our wall for 2 years until we sold the house to my in-laws. And then we took the jackalope with us. And they're like, what is this hole? We're like, you're going to have to get your own jackalope because we're
Okay,
taking
I
our
had to look
jackalope with
up
us.
what a jackalope was because I had no idea. People think that's real.
Yes,
I just can't imagine.
yes. Yes,
Oh my
a
goodness.
rabbit with horn, like with antlers, you know. It's clearly it's from North Dakota. Duh.
My favorite room in Chantel's house, besides her sewing room, is her fancy animal bathroom.
Yes,
It's
I
like
have a fancy animal bathroom.
it's all these portraits of fancy animals. It's like some of them are dressed up in weird outfits, and it's just hilarious.
And I
But
have
then,
this gilded mirror
then
in there. But
no, here's
yeah.
the best part. There is this little turd that looks too perfect to be real, but you don't really like know for sure. And it just sits on the floor. And I'm
I
like
have
waiting
a fake
there,
turd that I sit by the sit by the
and I'm
toilet on the
looking at
floor.
it, and I'm like, it's too perfect. It can't be real. So I finally touched it, and then I knew it was plastic, but
You're brave, Stephanie.
I was.
The amount of people that took pictures by that turd, like the amount of doctors that took pictures on the floor of my bathroom by that turd last Christmas would blow your mind.
It was really funny. Barbara, girls can fix drywall damage. I fixed it last week in my garage. Speaking of things that people just hang up instead of like fix. So we were like stripping all this crap off the walls of the garage before we like painted it and made it nice again. And there the previous homeowner had this like pegboard type situation up. And when we took it off, we realized it was very strategically placed over an area where a bumper had clearly gone through the drywall.
Oh no.
It was a big hole. It was a big
Wow.
it's a really
An
big mess.
opportunity. Let's
Yes.
hang a pegboard up, which we need in the garage anyways, to
Well,
cover
but
the
do
fact
you
that I
really
drove through the
want
garage.
you really want a pegboard right where you're gonna run into it with your bumper? No, not really.
Well, you don't want to run through it again.
But
Yes.
but no, I told my dad I needed his help with something with plaster. And then he was watching me frost a cake. And he goes, "You don't need help. You could just do that." And I'm just like, I suppose
Frost
you're
the cake.
technically right. It is very
True.
similar process.
That's very true, actually. I never really thought about that.
Yes. You can frost a cake, make it look good. You can do
Well, that's why we had a hole in our wall and covered it with a jackalope because I can't bake and I can't frost the cake. So
you're gonna frost cookies this year though.
I'm gonna try.
We're gonna figure
Apparently,
it
we're
out.
going on Baking Palooza here, and
If we can
I
figure
need to
it
be
out.
on that show that
Nailed it.
yeah.
I think I could win nailed it. Because
No,
part
the
of nailed
problem is
it,
that you have to be bad
but
and then get better. You're already good.
Stephanie, I feel like you should go on Is It Cake?
I
I'm
agree.
not that good.
That
I'm
Is
nowhere
It Cake
near
is a
that.
really fun show,
Everyone
though.
would know that it's cake.
Is it cake?
I can get a bad one though. During the pandemic, I had this cake that was about to fall over. It was hilarious. Angela like ran out of the room because she thought her rainbow cake was gonna fall off onto the ground.
Oh,
I don't even think I can make a sheet cake from a box.
well, that's easy. Just follow the directions.
Yeah, no. See, that's the problem. Steps 2.0. You know this. Just follow the directions. It seems so easy until you have to leave it in the oven for X amount of time and then you forget about it.
See, I like my cake. Well, like generally my baked goods, I like them underdone. If not, just not baked at all. Like, just give me the cookie dough, give me the cake.
Oh yeah, no, I
Like,
agree with that completely.
Just don't bake
Like,
it.
let
So
me
if it
just
says,
taste this
yeah,
for the entirety of whatever it is.
like the majority of the time, a cookie is wasted cookie dough.
Well, I could see that with cookies, but do you feel that way about like cinnamon buns? Because
But the
I
frost,
could
I mean, the
not.
cinnamon bun
Bread
is just a
items are a
vehicle
little bit
for
They have
frosting.
to be done.
Bread items are a little bit different, but like, are those pastries, cakes, cookies, things like that? What category are those in?
I don't know. They're all things I can't make
I don't
versus
know.
things I could make.
They're in
where
the
was I going
sweet
with this?
category.
There you
Yes.
go. Desserts. Where
Yum.
was I going with this? Oh yeah, if it says like bake for 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this on 25 minutes and put
Yeah.
like 14 alarms on my phone.
So you like your
And 14
brownies a
alarms,
little bit
yes.
undone too. Stephanie,
You're like,
you
I need it to snooze in 30
Yes!
second
You
intervals.
need to
I
like
like
mentally
it, like,
prepare to go
perfect.
get it out of the oven.
I try to get it as close to perfect as I can get.
so Stephanie, you like your brownies a little bit undone as well.
Yes.
Yeah, my
I
husband
have to
likes
agree
that.
on that one.
I
It has
like
to be
chewy but
doughy
not
or-
undone.
Or not doughy, battery, gooey, fudgy. I like
Brownies
fudgy.
The batter
and
is
chocolate
great,
chip
actually.
cookies, I feel like you can get away with that on. Everything else, I feel like you have to have it done.
I don't know. I don't know how to bake. There's just too many rules of baking that they don't put in the directions. Like, you can't overstir it, but you actually, can't understir it either. And actually, this is wet, so you should have stirred that first. But I didn't tell you that because this is a batter that you bought at Kroger. So there's just all these unspoken, rule. It's like
Baking
going
is
to church.
chemistry.
There's all these
Cooking is
unspoken
the art.
rules that if you just walked in, you would have no idea what was going on.
Did you
It's
say
like
it's like
baking.
church?
Yes.
It's like,
There's all these unspoken rules that if you've never been there, you have no idea what's going on.
This is true. Like, when
But
to
it
sit down,
seems
stand
so
up.
normal to
yes.
somebody who knows what's going on.
That is true. I say that as a lifelong churchgoer. Yes, that's true.
It'd be like, it's very overwhelming, when you're like, this, yeah. I went to a Catholic service once. I mean, I grew up in the church or whatever, but I went to a Catholic service once in college and I
different-
literally had a panic attack halfway through because I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, Mass is
Why
very
are
different
they speaking in Latin?
than Mass is very different than Protestant.
What
At least in
that
my
was the thing.
experience.
It was like I had no idea that it could be so incredibly different.
Yeah.
And
Lutheran is
everybody knew
very
when to
close.
stand up and get down and do all these things. And I'm like, this isn't my language. Like, I don't know what is going on.
Lutheran and
It was
Catholic
very
is
overwhelming.
very close. But there's enough differences that whenever I have to go with my daughter to one of her masses, it's just, I'm like, I always make mistakes.
I grew up in like a Baptist church, where you had a pastor. There was no like higher ups there was no hierarchy of like diocese and
Yeah.
things like that. It was a very different experience, but that's
I
how I
almost-
feel about baking. There's a lot of unspoken rules that you're just supposed to know in the atmosphere that if you don't really know what you're doing is very confusing.
You're going to be a pro after Cookie Palooza if we can pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
See, my husband went to culinary school. So
Oh.
with things like that, I'm just like, okay, you can do this.
Amen. Back to church. Amen.
There we go. All right, guys. Well, it is 11. I've got a very early morning and a very full day. So we're going to end it early tonight. We'll be back same time, 9:30 next week. And join me on Tuesday as well at 7 Central for the Q&A about the cruise. You can ask Range on all your questions. They handle all the logistics of it. So just found out that we will have baby lock sewing machines while we're on there. So that'll be great.
Oh, and you're a baby lock lover.
Well, yeah, I hooked them up with who to talk to so it could happen. So that'll be good. It'll be all the machines that I'm familiar with. So that way,
So that's this Tuesday.
and there'll be a tech on board too. So
Ooh,
that'll be good.
It'll be this Tuesday?
7 o'clock Central.
Okay.
And if you attend the Zoom, you're gonna get $100 off your booking and that's
Cool.
per person. So like if you're bringing like a husband with you, then they would get that 100 too.
Oh, so it's your booking, not just the retreat at sea.
It's the booking, I believe, is what
Good
you
deal.
get. So that'll be good. Because yeah, otherwise they wouldn't be able to do it.
I wanted to sit with y'all last Friday, but I was on vacation.
Well, that's fun.
I went up to
Cruise.
Missouri.
Barbara's got questions about a cruise. So Barbara, I am going to be teaching this only teacher actually on a quilting cruise to Alaska in July of 2025. We have a live Q&A that's going to be happening 7 o'clock on Tuesday with more information about it. I can put in the chat real quick more information where you guys can get more info while you're waiting. This is a link to an interactive PDF where you can get more info about the whole process. And but if you come to the sorry, it's late. I'm tired. I've had a long day. But anyway, it's going to be a blast. Go click on the link. You can get some more info. And if you come to the Zoom 7 o'clock CST on Tuesday night, then you can get all your questions answered from Ray and John and all the logistics stuff. And we'll talk about some things that are happening there. And you'll get $100 off your booking. I believe you have to book and put down a deposit by the end of the month in order for that to be held good. But that is the info.
Hang on. I gotta show y'all this.
All right. We're going to show us one more show and tell. And then
Aw, oh, that's cute. The little ghosts.
oh, that's adorable.
That is not cute. There's gonna be 9, she said on there. Are those not cute?
That is
Oh,
super
I've
cute.
seen that quote before. It's kind of on my my want to do list because the amount of like little scrappy pieces you can use in the background.
the quilty bucket list. Yes.
The quilting, yeah, the bucket list. The
That's
one
a
that's
good way
not
to
written
put it.
down. There's the written down one, and then there's the wish I have written down one. It's on that one.
That works.
Said that's here. That's hers. She just took down an eagle quilt. It was a panel that she added to, put all kinds of flying geese around it and sections of the panel around it. It was gorgeous. But anyway, I had to show y'all that because I know y'all love your Halloween.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, we do.
We have all gotten into the Halloween this year.
Yes.
They've been influencing everybody else. Alrighty. Have a good night,
right.
ladies.
All right. Good
And
night,
we'll see
everybody.
some of you on Tuesday. And if not, we'll see you next Friday.